this is LordMaddog, and we are playing Kerbal Space Program. The last episode, we designed a reactor in 2 pieces and launched it into space so we can have power to beam wall. It was a success. It took a lot of energy. It was about a 100-ton payload for the reactor alone because I used a pebble stone, which is super heavy. I know it's a bit ridiculous, but I got it up there, got it assembled, got it working, and then tested it. We were flying around with a Attila thruster engine from beam power wall from over space. Now, though, we need to be able to access that power on when it's in space at any angle. So we're going to build relays. At least that's the plan. We'll see how well that turns out. So let's go ahead and rebuild some relay powered systems. Yeah, we're going to go with we're going to try to use the Attila as a beam or power source because, well, it was working before. We're going to use this as our relayers. We need at least one thrust to weight ratio, and then we're going to go ahead and attach it. We're going to take crew and attach our relay. Up relay, and we're going to launch it. Yeah, it needs some radiators. Launch. Skipped a little bit of the build time. I want to turn these things off because I don't need them out right now. Here it is. This is the Kerbal Space Transport System. That's the mod you want if you don't want to have to continuously launch loads over and over and over and over into space. So I will go ahead and send this into orbit. Once I am in orbit, I will get in orbit. There, and now I'm in orbit. Let's go ahead and make it a little bit bigger of an orbit. That way I can then launch it into this is my template. However high I get in orbit here will enable me to the height there. So I decouple. Now I'm descending. So I'm going to take my launcher, all the way back to Kerbin. Here. Retrograde, make sure, and flip it in there. Once again, I don't need to be spinning, but this isn't as heavy as the other thing, but I do try to stop it from spinning some. As you can see, it keeps spinning back and forth, different directions, because I don't want it to blow itself apart like the last one I did. However, we end up getting absolutely completely unlucky and end up landing on the mountains. And my parachutes. Oh, parachutes did reply. Okay, yes, that's right. So it's perfectly fine. We land perfectly safe on the mountains and recover vessel. But you weren't supposed to recover vessel. I have to actually end up reloading because that didn't work. That's not how that system works. You have to land and then hit end mission. Stop right there. See, I had saved right before I said, and there. I now have a mission up relay. I'm going to rename that to... now I can now use it to launch another relay or anything that weighs under 19 ton, around 19 ton. So we're going to go ahead and launch another relay, and you'll see it'll appear in space. As soon as this is done sending it, but while that's sending it, we're going to switch to this relay over here. Deploy. This is her. And I made a big mistake with this. First off, I'm still using OTEC to these things here are the first one, pretty close to the first transceivers you get. They're second transceivers I think you get. They're reliable. However, they don't have a very good range on them, and I do not realize that. They have a very bad range on them, only 50 meters, so and they're not very efficient. And there's no power, so I can't actually move it. And that thing just finished. So I'm going to switch to the other one. See, wait, no, I'm switching to my reactor. Oh, no, that's not the reactor. Can't destroy it. Not that way. Alright, this is generating energy. 28 gigawatts. 28 megawatts of power. And there's that piece that's junk. I'm looking for the one I just sent up, but I realized that those relays aren't going to work, so I got to redesign them. And when I go back to redesigning, because they run out of power and you can't do anything with it after they run out of power. Stupid, I know, but that's just how it works. Once it runs out of power, it's completely untouchable. So having solar panels on it is an absolute must. What am I doing? Yes, I remembered now that I needed to send up another load of people to my here. It's trying to make it a little less aerodynamic. This is the one that had to live in space for 1 year. So and then I got this sidetracked from my relay system setup, which is okay, it's not a big deal. And save. And I'm going to go ahead and launch that with the KTS system. Accept the live in one space for 1 year mission. Send up to crew Kerbals. I need a engineer and a scientist. And I'm going to send that up through 3 this time to replace the one I had to bring back down. Yep, now they're launched. See, that saves you so much time of having to go up there and then land your thing. Saves you time and money. I really like it. This is my little guy here. I'm gonna have to activate and send him to auto rendezvous with my space station. If you're wondering where these fuel tanks I'm using come from, they come from Interstellar Parts Resource Switch, or Interstellar, something to do, fuel switch, something along that line. It's that mod. You have to actually have it to be able to use pretty much anything with the interstellar resources. So we're going to go ahead and, oops, didn't want to deactivate those. Set as target. I'm pretty good with docking now. I remember the first time I went to dock, I didn't have my RCs right, and it took me 3 hours to try to figure out how to dock. I didn't even understand that you had to rendezvous first. How do you rendezvous first? I had to watch like 16 different tutorials to figure out how to do that. Yeah. And now I can dock and, well, rendezvous, I actually use a machine, which you would in real life. Come on, you would definitely use a machine to do it in real life. All right. Now back to working with our relay systems. Once again, that is completely out of power and I can't do anything with it. Annoyingly so. Actually, you know, I think I left that just sitting up there in space for like ever after this point. And there was no reason to do that. So to just deleted it, it's completely worthless, and I'm not going to rendezvous with it just to try to fix it. Yes, you definitely want to do that. Because using powered engines is not good ideal. I found that out in space. It's just not good ideal. Alright. I don't think I learned my lesson though. So this will be my actual first working relay here. So I've got 2 worthless relays up in space right now. That end up just staying up there forever and not actually being able to do anything. Yep. No. Link for relay. What it would really want to do is get it in a geosynchronous orbit. You would want to have 3, I think, geosynchronous orbit satellites is enough on all 3 different planes, well, in a 3 staggered system. But I didn't do that. I didn't get it into geosynchronous orbit at all. And I did not realize that they're not linked for the right band. See, they're X-ray band microwave, which means they're completely worthless, period. Because I don't have anything that's using X-ray band microwave, and I never will. So and somehow I lost my recorded because things messed up when you save and load. A lot of times I have to actually load my quick save. I don't know why I'm launching yet another one. What the heck? Oh, that's right. I think I installed its switch off, so it will enable me to actually switch my bandwidth in flight. Oh, oh, I guess I didn't record making this thing. This is another one I tried to make to be a relay. But you have to be basically pointing towards your relay for it to actually work. So you see there, switch all. Like I said, it's out of date, so I had to update it or remake it actually, more or less. To be honest. So I made it for this thing here, so I can change it to change that and So there, I had a connection for like 5 seconds, and I was able to use my reactor, my power thing. There we go. I lost power. Oh, I still have power there. So just a lot of little fiddling with trying to actually get a relay in space. Until you have a complete relay system in place, I would not suggest using any type of powered engine systems unless you have the actual actory online. And even then, beam power, from what I've seen, is not a very stable choice of propulsion. In fact, I spend tons and tons of hours on this, and I have actually never used it on a single spaceship because it's just not reliable. So I end up spending through the entire course of this whole I think I end up spending close to 100 hours on trying to make a usable beam wall, and it never really turned out that well. Here I am going to go ahead and craft a EVA spaceship, but we will save that for next time. Alright, so I'll see you next time with me, LordMaddog, and playing Kerbal Space Program. See you next time.